All right, for this trade recap, I'm going to be going over how I was able to make and net a 3.1 R today from one trade, $900 profit for today. So let's just get straight into it. So pre-market plan, what essentially stood out to me was how ES was in balance for the past prior 3 days of action. You can see here we had poor structure at the 4/8 left behind, and also acts as the balance high region. And you can see here on the flip side, balance low. So in balance regions, you would want to be fading the extreme, buying the low and selling the highs. And the market looked like this coming into pre-market for me. And for the game plan, the scenario that triggered for me today was if we can bid back above the 2 4s and fail to go lower on a daily, I wanted to find ways to play long, speculating the poor structure will get tested, targeting the 40s first, and then the 4 4s, 4 8s. Where I got 4 4s from was from this naked VPOC, which I can also make more videos on if you guys would like, explaining market profile. And I also had a buy the low scenario into these 20s, which stems from this demand zone and the naked TPOC, and then also, of course, this lower distribution that stems from Wednesday, I believe. So coming in, where the 2 4s came from was this prior day low. And the reason why the prior day low was so significant to me was because the VIX pre-market was, visualize it here, pull up a regular trading hours. VIX pre-market was relatively weak under the prior day high. And if ES is coming close into the prior day lows and breaking under it, VIX should be at or near the prior day high. So I noted this divergence in the pre-market plan, like I said. ES is way below the overnight lows, while VIX is nowhere near the overnight highs as this attempts to break down lower. You can see here, this was the 2 4s, and that was a significant divergence to me to add pieces of the puzzle together. And to add cherry on top, I had a 1 hour demand zone for NQ that stems from this consolidation and massive move up into the all-time highs, and prior resistance, which was now acting as support, that stems also from a prior all-time high. You can see here resistance, resistance, resistance. Get back above, it should act as support. So that's two confluences from NQ. The divergence between ES and the VIX. So I took an entry for my first scenario at the market open. You can see, I'll be going over it here. All right, 6:30 a.m. I said trying some on this breakdown short. You can see here there's bids stepping in, and I usually don't take market open trades, but my plan was triggering, and I just had to take a stab and look at it as opportunity and not with a bias. So what I did to manage the position was I sized down, and you can see there was a ton of negative delta being transacted at the lows, but the market was failing to move lower, and we were bidding back above the 2 4s with that weak VIX context. And I'll just update my thoughts, letting the market develop. And this was the VIX to ES visual at 642. You can see here nowhere near the prior day high, and ES was clearly breaking the Friday low. And on this move down into the 2 5s, I actually added into my vision. So now I'm in full size and move my stop under the open, one tick under the par day low, since it was past the 5 minutes of the market open. So I was open to adding into this position. And you can see here again, look at the negative delta being transacted at the 2 3s under par day low, and then 2 5s now. A ton of negative delta with that weak VIX. And you can see here, I'm just updating. And once we got that high of daybreak, I honestly felt very confident in the trade working out. And how I was gonna manage this position was to get out at the uh, give me overnight highs. Since I had such a good entry, I was gonna scale out one at the overnight highs first, and then leave a runner for the 40s final target if the buying was super strong. And that's exactly what happened. So I scaled out on my first contract at the 3 5 with fives. And I said I was going to press it, but there was developing weakness at the highs. And I think what I did a good job of was being open to pressing this winner into the 40s, but I reacted to the new information that the tape tells me because that's market generated information. So I wasn't just going to ignore the fact that there is clearly developing weakness at the highs. The buying was strong at first, don't get me wrong. You can see here strong buying. And I was pressing this for the 40s target, but based off of this new information where we failed to sustain buying above 3 7s, I got out of my final contract when the market looked like this. And I said, may have bit me in the ass, but the buying had dried up. Like I said, I have to react to that new information. And you can see here, we still haven't tested those 40s. Even though it may still test, I don't think it was a mistake on my part because I told myself a part of the thesis that I developed was if it's developing weakness, I'm open to getting out. So that was a trade for the day. If you guys want more trading recaps, just feel free to let me know. And just to show my risk parameters on that, this number is really irrelevant, honestly. What really matters is how much someone is risking on a trade. So on this trade, I was risking 272 and I ended up netting that 928, a little bit more than my planned R multiple. I was risking only 2 points on that trade to make 9.375. And that's what sustains longevity in trading at the end of the day. And that's all that matters. So I'm ending off on that. So peace.